is a matchup so natural, so provocative, that basketball fans have argued it for years. Who is the better player, they've asked, but of course, there's been no answer. Because how are we to judge? One man is the league's top scorer, but his counterpart is the all-time assist leader. One man is the current MVP, but the other owns 5 championship rings. These stalemates have then led to the ultimate subjective question. Which man makes his teammates better? In this season, to be sure, there is no clear-cut difference. And so the debate has raged on radio talk shows, in the press, in the imagination, but never on the basketball court until now. This is the place where fantasy meets reality. Michael versus Magic, with the game's biggest prize at stake. Let the answer reveal itself.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1991 NBA Finals. Today, Game 1 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Chicago Bulls.
You are looking at Chicago Stadium, and they are basketball crazy here in Chicago as we approach the start of the NBA Championship Series. Usual capacity crowd, better than 17,000 on hand as the Bulls add to their all-time attendance record. This the 189th straight sellout at Chicago Stadium. Hi everybody, I'm Marv Albert along with Mike Fratello, and we welcome you to game number 1 of the best of 7. Now only 12 times since Michael Jordan entered the NBA back in 1984 he and Magic Johnson met in the same game. Now this series eventually figures to be more than just Michael going up against Magic, but the matchup problems they present are intriguing. First of all, Mike, from the Laker point of view, how will they defend against Michael Jordan, the most explosive player in the game?
Mark, the Lakers realize you don't use the word stop when speaking of Michael Jordan. Mike Dunleavy told us yesterday he'd love to double-team Michael Jordan at every opportunity to try and get the ball out of his hands. The problem is the rest of the Bulls have raised their game level. The result, a trip to the championship series. The Lakers have an outstanding team defense, one that will double-team and surround Jordan selectively during the course of the game. But sometimes not even a double team or triple team is enough to stop Michael. He has just too much at the offensive end of the floor.
What do you feel the Bulls will attempt to do in going up against Magic Johnson?
Well, because Magic controls about 95% of the Lakers' offense, Chicago will use a philosophy similar to the one they used against the Detroit Pistons and Isaiah Thomas. Get the ball out of the point guard's hands as much as possible. Versus Magic, expect Chicago's extended defense to use early traps, keeping pressure on him at all times. Now, the problem that surfaces is, because of the matchups, Jordan on defense versus Magic, the pressure has to come from a Michael Jordan, harassing him the entire time when he's playing offense. It's going to be interesting to see if anything is taken away from Jordan's offensive game because he's trying to stop Magic at the defensive end.
So it'll be Magic and the Lakers, Michael and the Bulls. It is a marquee get-together, and it is just moments away.
You know, when you're a competitor, you want to play against the best. I played against Larry, and I've always wanted to play against Michael.
This is it. This is what I've been waiting for. I think everybody in America's been waiting for it. Michael against Magic. It's a big highlight. This is my first time to the finals, and I'm looking for an exciting final. Hopefully we can win, but it's going to be challenging.
Back in Chicago, we're set for the introduction of the lineups. Always a theatrical production here at Chicago Stadium. Let's join with Ray Clay on the public address.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the Chicago Stadium, the noisiest arena in the NBA. I'm Ray Clay, and today's Game 1 of the NBA Finals is between the LA Lakers and your Chicago Bulls. And now for this afternoon's lineups. First, for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. At forward, from North Carolina, 6'9", Sam Perkins. At the other forward, from North Carolina, 6'9", James Worthy. At center, from Yugoslavia, 6'11", Vlade Divac. From Michigan State, at guard, 6'9", Irvin Magic Johnson. At the other guard, from Arizona State, 6'4", Byron Scott. The LA Lakers are coached by Mike Dunleavy. Phil Jackson.
And today we are enhanced by double coverage of the sidelines. We're joined by both Ahmad Rashad and Steve Jones. First, here's Ahmad.
All right, Marv. All week long, Michael Jordan has been trying to downplay the matchup between him and Magic. He said it's the Bulls against the Lakers. So this morning I said, Mike, no matter what you say, everybody in America realizes that this game is between you and Magic. He looked back at me. He had a twinkle in his eye and a big smile on his face, and he said, I know. Let's go down to Steve Jones.
All right, Ahmad, Magic agrees with you. This is a huge matchup, but the matchup that he's more concerned about is big game James Worthy and his availability against Scottie Pippen. I spoke to James Worthy before the game. He said his ankle is improving. He expects to play. I watched him during the warm-ups. He is still having a problem. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Steve. Ahmad, for the Chicago Bulls, this is their first ever appearance in the finals in this, their silver anniversary season. For the Los Angeles Lakers, it is their 9th trip to the championship round in the last 12 years. A remarkable accomplishment. The officials, Hugh Evans, Jack Madden, and Hugh Holland. And we're set for the start of Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. The Chicago Bulls finishing 61-21, winning the Central Division and whipping right through the playoffs. The LA Lakers 58-24 in the regular season, second in the Pacific, and then they were able to knock off the Portland Trailblazers in 6, wrapping up that series in Los Angeles this past Thursday. Vlade Divac, Bill Cartwright, and the opening tip controlled by the LA Lakers as Magic Johnson moves across against Michael Jordan. Perkins being played by Cartwright. And it's called by Hugh Evans. A bump by Cartwright, who picks up the foul.
Both teams trying to establish an inside game immediately, according to what their coaches told us yesterday. Perkins down low. We'll see this a number of times, trying to get the ball down into Sam. He reads the defense before he makes his offensive move.
And now Magic posting and got it out for Worthy, who beat Pippen. And at least on that move, the ankle looked fine. Lakers with a 2-0 lead.
In fact, as we saw the last game against Portland, he was not able to make that move from the top of the circle off the dribble. He either caught it and shot, or he reversed the ball. Good sign for the Lakers right there. James putting it on the floor.
Here's Pippen, and he's hit on the reach in. The first look was to Bill Cartwright as the Bulls tried to get Cartwright involved early, but he did not have the shot, and he whipped it right back outside. The foul was called on Worthy.
All the moves that have been planned out for the chess match we'll see unfold as the game goes on. Each team going down low initially, trying to get their centers off. On the other side, trying to put fouls on the opposing center to put him on the bench.
For Scottie Pippen, this has been a breakthrough season. He has emerged as an NBA All-Star. He has averaged 22 per game in the playoffs. Came up particularly big against the Detroit Pistons, and he's been shooting 53% from the floor. And Magic had it deflected out by Grant. It will be Laker ball.
Immediately, we'll see Chicago extend its defense and watch for the man on the ball, Grant, to go and double team occasionally, particularly if it's Magic handling to try and get it out of his hands.
And it's Vlade Divac, who does handle the ball well for a big man, providing the help. And from time to time, we'll see Phil Jackson use what he calls escort pressure. Divac to the left-hand hook to give the Lakers a 4-1 lead.
I don't know if I've seen Vlade use that one personally this season, but he was saving it for the right time.
Minute and a half gone by. Now Scott on Jordan. Here's Cartwright. Yes. Lakers 4, the Bulls 3.
Keep an eye on Michael Jordan as he guards Magic, his hands. He's gotten a number of deflections this season against Magic in the two matchups. He anticipates the pass.
And Worthy went to the left hand. The Bulls looking to run. Jordan from deep. Yes. The Bulls take a 5-4 lead.
And immediately Phil Jackson signals to the defense, move up, find the ball early, put pressure on him.
Michael Jordan during the playoffs for the most part has been starting in low-key fashion, and then he has picked it up in the second half. He's been looking to distribute the basketball. Nice move by Perkins. He was able to get the step on Cartwright. Lakers by 1. Byron Scott with his hands full in defending, at least at the start, against Michael Jordan. Divac's up on Grant. Divac's got a piece of it. Scott spotting up. He's been hot from three-point land. And here comes Paxson. Pippen back for Paxson. Jordan open.
One thing you'll see from Chicago is excellent spacing on offense, good ball movement, unselfish play. One key sign is the assists in the playoffs. Jordan and Pippen lead the team in assists.
And Worthy threw up the air ball. Lakers get back. Pippen on the move. Perkins protecting. 3-on-2 for the Lakers. Scott, yes. And the Lakers now lead by the score of 8-5.
What confidence Magic shows by advancing the ball to his center to lead a 3-on-2 fast break, and then believing that Vlade will make the right decision and be able to execute in the end.
Byron Scott has shot well during the course of the playoffs. Grant, he had the position. Last touch by Johnson. It will be Chicago in possession.
I think one thing that the Lakers did pick up in the series from Portland was the understanding that we must become a better rebounding team. In the games they lost to the Trailblazers, they were beaten thoroughly on the glass. The ones they won, they made a strong comeback, did their share of rebounding.
Pippen extending. And Worthy gets to it. The Chicago Bulls have won 15 straight home playoff games. The last home playoff loss to Detroit last June the 2nd. A year ago to the day, Perkins. And the Lakers off to the good shooting start and jump in front by the score of 10-5 with just a shade over 4 minutes gone by. Pippen lost it. And this is a rare situation as Scott fires, where the Bulls have not gotten off to the fast start, particularly here at home.
And is there anything to the fact that the number of days off maybe produced a little bit of rust? They're not in that game condition that you need, particularly in the championship series.
Michael Jordan now 1 for 3 from the field. And again, it's Divac handling the ball well. Divac going down half court. Perkins. Here's Jordan. Lakers 10 and the Bulls 7.
Well, Michael Jordan made sure that one of those shots were going in. The jumpers weren't falling. He took it to the basket strong, dunked it the way all coaches like to see you do, to be sure.
Well, Paxson turned his head. He was caught on a mismatch, and Worthy able to take advantage. Lakers 12 and the Bulls 7. And Jordan was hit. Scott reaching in. Magic Johnson also involved, and they call it on Magic. Timeout taken, 6:36 remaining in this first quarter. Last played last Monday afternoon and wrapping up the series against Detroit. A moment ago we posed the question, how will the long layoff affect the Bulls? And we asked that of Phil Jackson.
6 days off, you really can't maintain the kind of energetic momentum. The camaraderie is still there, and the elated feeling of being in the finals. But you're really not in game shape right now. Your shooting isn't going to be sharp as it was a week ago. So we have to rebuild the momentum. We're going to have to regenerate that again.
And the Bulls are trailing here early by the score of 12-7. Mike, I always feel, though, that is a point that is rationalized after the fact. Now, if the Bulls had gotten off fast, and was so early in the game, people would say, well, they're well rested. It's better. However, if they don't get off to the fast start, you'll pose the question, as you did, well, maybe the layoff hurt them. While the Lakers played recently, Thursday night.
There's no question, over the years, coaches have tried to find a solution for when they have too many days off. Some coaches I know, in fact, have brought outside teams in to play mini scrimmages against their team. Practicing against the same people is not the same as game situation. The shooting, the pressure defense, the running, the intensity, the concentration. So you must try to find a way to keep them sharp, but it's hard. The more days off, the harder it is to maintain that level of play.
Michael Jordan fouled just before the timeout by Magic Johnson. He is an 85% free throw shooter. In the playoffs, he leads the NBA. He's averaging 31 per ball game. Jordan hits 1 out of 2, and it's the Lakers 12 and the Bulls 8. Here's the light pressure, and the Lakers have no trouble with it. They have big men who can handle the ball in both Divac and Perkins.
And they are prepared for the fact that the Bulls will try to keep that at Magic's hands. They have their releases ready, and they're executing very well right now.
Open shot for Worthy. Good look from Scott. And it's the Lakers 14 and the Bulls 8. Grant with Pippen and Cartwright up front. Paxson and Jordan at the guard. It is Byron Scott opening against Michael Jordan. Jordan able to blow right by.
And Magic immediately turning to Vlade and explaining, wait a minute, this is the way we had decided to play that play. Make sure you remember and do it. I'm relying on you.
We'll have to see how long Mike Dunleavy stays with the matchup of Byron Scott. There is one school of thought as you see Worthy positioned for the turnaround, and he's off to the fast start, 4 for 6, 8 points. That Byron Scott's offensive game can be affected when he matches up against Michael Jordan, which is understandable. That Jordan has just disheartened him on so many occasions. Jordan battling for the rebound and fires again. Lakers by 4.
But Byron Scott shouldn't feel too bad because there are a lot of guys that have lost sleep the night before playing against Michael Jordan.
Jordan, 4 out of 7, 9 points. Again, a post-up move by Perkins. Beautifully done by Sam Perkins. He had Horace Grant at his mercy.
Once again, the Bulls electing not to go double team immediately, playing the early part of the game straight up.
Bad pass saved by Cartwright. Oh, what a pass from Jordan. And Scottie Pippen cuts it down to 4. Paxson off the steal. Here's Jordan for Pippen. Rejected by Devonts. But it will be Chicago ball.
Jordan has decided that he's going to cut out the perimeter game for a while and try to take this thing to the basket strong. He foot fakes middle, goes baseline, no rotation that time by the rest of the Lakers.
Jordan stepping off the pick and changed his mind. Here's Paxson. Yes. And the Bulls, in the midst of a roll, have come within 2. Lakers have led by as many as 6.
Paxson mentioned to us yesterday, matter-of-factly, my job basically is go find an open area. Michael Jordan will find me with the basketball when he's double-teamed. I just got to knock shots down.
Shot clock down to 3. Perkins from downtown. Yes, Sam Perkins hits the 3. And it's the Lakers 21 and the Bulls 16.
And going into this game, in the playoffs, Perkins shooting 6 for 17, over 35% from the three-point line. Something he used to do frequently when he was with the Dallas Mavericks.
And he comes off a strong game in the wind-up against Portland. Cartwright from well beyond his range.
But a great example of the Lakers defense extending and challenging a shot by a Bulls player. They put a lot of pressure on shooters.
3:20 to go in this first quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from Chicago Stadium. Again, Worthy looking to post. Cartwright getting inside, lost it to Devonts, and then was rejected. Here's Perkins. He threw the air ball. He had the new 24, may not have realized it. Paxson. The Lakers 21 and the Bulls 18, and the Bulls showing signs after the slow start. Mike Dunleavy will talk it over. Timeout taken by LA.
Miller Genuine Draft presents #1 draft choices.
Today's Miller #1 draft pick, Scottie Pippen of the Bulls, originally chosen number 5 overall by the Seattle Supersonics back in 1987. The Bulls acquired Pippen on draft day for the rights to Olden Polynice, plus other conditional picks. The two-time All-Star led the Bulls in assists this season, second on the team in scoring and rebounding. A reminder, at the end of today's broadcast, we'll be selecting the Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game.
A while back, the Lakers, in trying to establish their half-court offensive game, sent Perkins low. Watch the Bulls defense checking it out. No double teams early. They're trying to play the post-up people straight up, but eventually in the game, Jackson usually turns the defense and starts trapping.
A.C. Green has come on for James Worthy. Worthy leads with 8. A.C. Green providing a spark at the Forum in Los Angeles on Thursday night. 23 minutes, 15 points. Also lifted the Lakers in games 3 and 4. Shot clock is down to 5. Scott. And back come the Bulls. They're down by 3. Pippen for Jordan. The Laker lead is 1 with 2:20 to go in this first quarter.
The Bulls' half-court offense may not be effective right now, but their transition game in the breakdown situations has been terrific.
And the foul called on Pippen. That will send Byron Scott to the free throw line.
The nice thing about this Bulls team is they have a number of people who can lead the break, make the right decision, and then perhaps the best finisher in basketball, Michael Jordan.
Lakers have led by as many as 6. They got off 14-8. And the Bulls have come back. Michael Jordan leading the way with 11 points, also has 3 assists. So he has accounted for 17 of Chicago's 20 points. Byron Scott in his 8th year out of Arizona State grew up some 14 blocks from the form in Inglewood. Used to sneak his way into the form. I asked him his method. He said it's all in the technique. The key is distracting the guard, who he said often was reading a newspaper. Just under 2 minutes remaining. First quarter. Cartwright. Terrific extension by Bill Cartwright to get that up above Lonnie Devine.
And it's a move that Cartwright likes to use, but doesn't use it a whole lot, going back to that left shoulder for the extended jump hook.
Lakers by 1. Magic checking the shot clock. 3 on 2. Pippen. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls have taken a 1-point lead. Magic going right at Michael Jordan, and he drew the foul.
Great quickness by the Bulls in transition and the willingness to give the ball up. Jordan pitching ahead to Pippen, another guy who finishes pretty well.
Michael Jordan collecting his first foul. And Magic Johnson with his first point of the day. 2-time most valuable player, won it last season for the 2nd straight year. And this season, the runner-up to Michael Jordan. The Lakers 25, the Bulls 24, as we come up on 1 minute left in this opening quarter. Jordan off the fake. And he is on fire. 13 for Jordan. He's hit 6 of 9 from the field. Bulls by 1.
That time you saw them run a second player at Magic early that time to take some of the pressure off of Jordan.
Again, the shot clock down now at 5. Perkins forced. Green, and the loose ball foul has been called. It is on Grant.
AC Green does such a terrific job on the offensive boards. You must concentrate, keep a body on him at all times. He's had 33 offensive rebounds so far in the playoffs for the Lakers.
The Bulls are over the foul limit. AC Green in his 471st consecutive game. Last missed a game November of 1986. He missed only 3 games in his 6th NBA season. Here's Craig Hodges replacing Bill Cartwright. So Phil Jackson will go small here in the final stages of the first quarter, but he likes to insert Hodges for the potential last-minute fling with the shot clock and the game clock working down.
What they like to do to end quarters and halves is put the ball in Jordan's hand in the middle of the floor, put Paxson Hodges on the wings, spotting up for 3-pointers. If you come and double team Michael, he'll kick it out. They like to knock out the 3 with the crowd roaring at the buzzer.
Game tied at 26. Jordan. Michael Jordan with 15 points.
And that's what happens when you don't double team and stay at home with the 3-point shooters. Jordan has you one-on-one.
It's the Bulls by 2. Shot clock at 10. Game clock 13. Shot clock at 5. Perkins from downtown. So Perkins with a second 3-pointer, 6 3/10 seconds to go in the quarter. What a pass from Jordan! 1 5/10 seconds to go. They are standing and cheering the Bulls, who with a late drive have taken a 30-29 lead on the Lakers. Led by Michael Jordan, who hit 7 of 10, 15 points, 5 assists. The Bulls have the lead after 1 in game 1 of the best of 7.
do to end quarters, put the ball in Jordan's hand, because he usually makes something good happen. You know, many times they say that when Michael Jordan's tongue is out, something bad's going to happen for the opposition. Takes a page out of Magic's book with the hook pass over the top.
A spectacular first quarter for Michael Jordan. 7 for 10 for 15 points, plus 5 assists. And as we mentioned earlier, throughout most of the playoffs, Michael has started slowly, kind of checking things out, getting his teammates involved, and then has poured it on, come on strong in the second half. Not the case here today.
Well, maybe he's thinking some of my teammates might be a little bit nervous. You know, big game situation, championship series. Let me give him some confidence, get him off to a quick start by doing it myself.
Cliff Levingston has checked in for the first time. Here's Jordan. And Magic Johnson gets to it. Terry Teagle on the floor for the Lakers for the first time. So Divac with Green and Worthy up front. Worthy returning. Teagle and Johnson at the guards. They try to double up on Teagle. Pull it past Beauty. And the foul call. Magic Johnson spotting the open man, Bloody Divac. Cartwright called for the foul, his second.
One of the things you'll notice during this series is the great hands of Divac, the ability to catch the hard passes that Magic Johnson throws at the spur of the moment when a lot of players aren't expecting him. They have turnovers as a result. Divac comes up with the ball. Sounds simple, but so important.
Crowd reacting to the entrance of Will Perdue, who has become a crowd favorite here in Chicago. He replaces Bill Cartwright. 4 points, 2 personal fouls for Cartwright. Earlier this season, Perdue had complained about lack of playing time. Then he moved up in Phil Jackson's rotation, began to play well, and came up solid during the playoffs.
We see a little change in the philosophy now defensively by the Lakers. With Teagle on the floor instead of Scott, James Worthy has moved over now to guard Michael Jordan.
Bulls 14 for 22 from the field in the first quarter. They made 12 of the last 15 after the slow start. Divac's able to take the dribble from Jordan.
And Michael Jordan knew he had a mismatch situation, tried to take Divac off the dribble, but the Lakers recognized and surrounded the ball immediately.
Lakers 50%, 11 for 22 shooting in the first quarter. Now Worthy backing Grant. Shot clock is at 5. He ran out of options and goes to the finger roll. What a move by James Worthy.
The best option, perhaps. Put it in the basket.
Lakers lead at 33-30. We're just underway in the second quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from Chicago Stadium. Perdue from Jordan.
You could see Magic that time give his teammates the verbal signal to come and double team when he wanted to help, but Jordan's so unselfish he finds the open man.
So the Lakers by 1. Here's Teagle getting inside. Terry Teagle had a disappointing regular season, but he's come on in the playoffs. Came on strong toward the end of the season after he was signed as a free agent after spending time in Houston, Detroit, Golden State. There's a three-point attempt by Hodges. Green on the rebound.
The Lakers are so tough because they will post any one of 5 people. Worthy with the post-up move and score right there. 4 of the 5 starters will post up. Only Scott not being a post-up guy. And then Teagle off the bench is another post-up man. Most teams are happy to have just 1 or 2 post-up guys.
12 points for Worthy. Lakers extend to a 5-point lead. The pass broken up. And back comes Magic. 8-2 run by the Los Angeles Lakers. Worthy with the opening. And the loose ball foul called. It's on Divac. 9:15 remaining in the second quarter. Lakers lead 37-32. A timeout call.
As long as Michael Jordan is away from the basket, Magic Johnson will play him straight up. Jordan will then try to back down the player into the scoring area, and at a certain point, you'll see Magic turn his head, ask for help from his teammates, but keep an eye underneath Will Perdue because Jordan finds his open teammates.
Yes, he is the czar of the teleshredder. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, last time out, Phil Jackson was saying that they're trying to go to their offensive menu. A lot of isolations, a lot of screen roll. What he was upset was there's too much congestion underneath the basket. The big men not doing enough spacing. Let's go over to Steve.
All right, Ahmad, the Los Angeles Lakers feel confident that they can score at any offensive possession. Their big concern is defensive rotation off of Michael Jordan. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Steve, and Craig Hodges able to hit his first field goal with 3 minutes gone by. In the second quarter, the Lakers lead the Bulls 37-34. Check of the stats, 6 assists apiece for Jordan and Johnson. Teagle had it knocked away. Shot clock is at 14. Scottie Pippen checking back in. He'll replace Horace Grant. Plays with a field goal for Duke. Phil Jackson was telling us at practice yesterday that the Lakers will try to lull you to sleep. Then they'll pick you apart. They have a way of frustrating the defense. They take so much time off the 24-second clock, and we've certainly seen that here in the first quarter. Worthy with another gorgeous move. Worthy with 14. And remember, there were questions about Worthy because of that sprained ankle. Lakers by 5. Deflected out. It will be Chicago ball.
Worthy has the ability to back you down to the last possible second on the 24-second clock, and then finds a way to get a good shot off.
And the Bulls shot clock is at 10. Devon's able to jump out effectively. Here's Pippen. And Teagle on the rebound. A.C. Green up front with Lonnie Devonts, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, and Terry Teagle now at the guard. Matchup is now Livingston against Worthy, who's backing him down, and then not able to hit the jump. Here comes Jordan. Michael goes all the way, and then a late decision, and he's called for the travel. He tried to hand it off. He was undecided. A rare traveling violation indicator.
Jack Madden saying that Michael's feet touched the ground before he actually got rid of the basketball. He's airborne, and the foot, he says, comes down before the pass is delivered. From another angle, check it out and see if the feet touch before the ball is delivered. Looks like a good call.
And Michael Jordan will sit down. B.J. Armstrong has come on for the first time. 15 points, 7 assists for Jordan. Good play by Livingston.
First thing Livingston did was he got Worthy off the block. Next thing, he denied him the ball, got the deflection out of bounds.
Cliff Livingston did not get the playing time during the regular season and had a disappointing regular season after coming over from the Atlanta Hawks, but he stepped it up, in particular in the series against Detroit. Purdue got a piece of that shot attempt, and the foul is called.
And speaking with Livingston, he felt early in the season he was so concerned about not messing up the Bulls team when he was out on the floor. A rather intricate half-court offensive system, one that he was, well, if he goes back, he was so embedded into the Hawks system for such a long number of years that he moves over into Chicago's new system, and he said, I was just afraid of messing up when I got on the floor and really didn't just go out and play.
Was that complicated Hawk system under Coach Fratello you were referring to?
The 3 plays that we had.
Yes. Will Purdue called for the foul. A.C. Green on the line. Livingston emerged in the series against Detroit. He actually came to Chicago Stadium very upset prior to one of the big games he had against the Pistons after he read a newspaper column in which he and another newcomer, Dennis Hobson, were referred to as clutter in terms of what they have contributed off the bench. And he said that gave him the extra incentive to prove his critics wrong. Here's Hodges. Yes. And the Lakers lead 41-36. Well, maybe Phil Jackson will be ghostwriting some tough stories on Cliff Livingston, try and get him going. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Now Purdue guarding Perkins. Off the steal, Livingston for Purdue, and he will go to the line.
Almost a bad decision that turns into a good play for Chicago. Livingston gave it up to a big man too far from the basket, but they'll wind up shooting 2 free throws.
Larry Drew just committed that foul. Welcome back to Chicago. The Lakers lead the Bulls by 5 points, 6:49 remaining in this first half, and we have an NBA Finals flashback involving a couple of Lakers. 6 years to the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passed Jerry West as the all-time leading scorer in playoff history. Not only did Kareem pass West in this series, he won the Most Valuable Player award of the Finals as he led the Lakers past Boston in 6 games. Magic Johnson looking to put a move on Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird. Magic sitting out. Larry Drew has come on for the first time, so Mike Dunleavy going with a combination of Teagle and Drew in the backcourt. Perkins with Green and Worthy up front. Will Perdue to the free throw line in his 3rd year out of Vanderbilt, and that is his 3rd point of the day.
As has been the case for the Bulls, whenever Phil Jackson puts 4 of the bench players on the court, Armstrong, Hodges, Livingston, Perdue, either Jordan or Pippen remain out there to be the glue for that unit.
Pressure by the Bulls, providing some problems for the Lakers. Phil Jackson will go with the light pressure, and he'll use it as a surprise element. Drew shooting the 3, Perdue on the rebound.
And that full court pressure wound up in a rush shot for the Lakers that time.
However, the Bulls give it right back. Larry Drew moving it against B.J. Armstrong. Here's Teagle, called for the travel.
Teagle had 2 good looks at the basket that time, wound up trying to get a better shot, and as a result, turned it over.
High point man of the game, Michael Jordan, 15 points. Along with his 7 assists, he's accounted for 29 of the 36 Bulls points prior to sitting down. Perdue. Will Perdue going glass for his 2nd field goal, and the Bulls move within 1. The leading scorers for the Lakers, Worthy 14, Perkins with 12. Now Pippen taking Teagle down low. Yes, and it counts.
Chicago wound up playing pick-and-roll basketball with Scottie Pippen coming off a screen set by Craig Hodges. Lakers switched, but as a result, Pippen had a smaller man, takes advantage of it, and backs him right into the hole.
Mike Dunleavy making changes. Magic Johnson returns, as does Byron Scott. And Vlade Divac, the Bulls have reeled off 8 consecutive points. Michael Jordan back on the floor. Jordan trying to sneak inside, but it will be Laker ball. The Bulls 42, and the Lakers 41. Livingston able to pick it off.
And the Lakers had stationed Worthy at the opposite end of the floor. The Bulls did not match up. Magic just looked up a little bit too late. The idea was right. Execution is a little sloppy that time.
Again, Jordan played by Scott. Divac's over to help. Pippen with 2 on the shot clock. Has to fire it. And it is a 24-second violation.
We've been giving the Bulls defense a lot of credit, but we must remind people the Lakers have played outstanding defensive basketball, particularly down the stretch of the regular season and throughout the playoffs.
Lakers and Bulls meeting for the first time in the NBA Finals. First time they've met in the playoffs since 1973. Livingston with the rejection. Here's Armstrong. Yes. Armstrong, in his second year out of Iowa, has done an excellent job coming off the bench this season. A 10-0 run by the Bulls. They now lead it by 3. It is their biggest lead of the game. Here's Magic, who's been quiet. Bulls looking for an offensive foul. They do not get the call.
Magic sees the crease in the defense, just puts his head down, basically says, I'm going to the basket. Bulls a little slow in closing down that lane to the rim.
Magic is 2 for 2 from the line. An illustrious career for Earvin Magic Johnson. He is the NBA's second all-time leader in steals behind Maurice Cheeks of the New York Knicks, and now the all-time assist leader, breaking Oscar Robertson's record that was back in April. Here's Jordan. And Michael will go to the free throw line.
I can't say for sure whether the Bulls are trying to play mind games with Byron Scott, but as soon as he comes back in and the matchup takes place, Scott versus Jordan, Chicago sent Michael Jordan down in the hole on a post-up to get him off right away versus Scott.
Jordan is 1 for 2 from the foul line. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Bulls lead it by 1. Now Bill Cartwright is back, and Will Perdue hears it from the crowd. And now a timeout taken. When we come back, it'll be Jordan back to the foul line. Well, the Lakers led by as many as 7, but a 10-0 run by Chicago has propelled the Bulls to their biggest lead, a margin of 3. Excellent job by the Bulls bench. And again, Cliff Levingston providing an emotional lift.
A guy who knows his role. Rebound, play good defense against the team's top scorers. Very willing to do that.
All right, let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Cliff Levingston may be playing well right now, but last night he had a tough time sleeping. He said he was so nervous about this game, he couldn't eat. He tried to eat breakfast this morning, and Marv, he lost his breakfast, but he's been playing well. Back to you.
Ahmad has such a way with words, doesn't he? He lost his breakfast.
Very impressed.
You know, I never quite heard it captured in that manner. Michael Jordan on the line for his second free throw. 3:56 remaining in the first half. So the Bulls lead it 45-43, and again, the light pressure by Chicago. Magic met by the trap. Divac, Worthy, Perkins up front. Scott Johnson in the backcourt.
And because of the switch, all of a sudden, Michael Jordan is on Vlade Divac, playing him down low. The double team gets it out of his hand.
Magic delivering for Divac. Shot clock down to 1. And it's blocked by Pippen. It's a 24-second violation.
The trapping defense forced a mismatch. Jordan on Divac. Unfortunately, Vlade couldn't find the handle on the ball.
Now Pippen played by Worthy. Cartwright eluding Divac. Crowd looking for a foul.
With the long arms of Sam Perkins, bothered the shot, forced the miss.
Crowd wanted to travel, but Armstrong picked it off. It's a 2-on-1. Here's Jordan. 18 points for Michael Jordan. Bulls lead at 47-43.
They're just getting now into their half-court offense with 10 seconds left on the 24-second clock.
Shot clock to 2. So once again, the Lakers roll that shot clock all the way down. 6 points for Divac. And the Bulls lead at 47-45. Jordan with the fake right, went left, and then was bottled up. Good play by Scott.
3 Lakers surrounding Jordan once he put it on the floor.
Yes, Byron had some help, but was able to deflect it away. Here's a mismatch. Perkins, and he drew the foul. Livingston coming over to help out Armstrong. So Sam Perkins, a college teammate of Michael Jordan, as was James Worthy, to the free throw line. Over the last 3 years, he has worked vigorously with weights. 6 years in Dallas, signed with the Lakers as an unrestricted free agent last August, and it has turned into a splendid move by Laker general manager Jerry West.
And as you follow Perkins in his career, he started out under Dick Mott, a little bit of post-up action. When John McKay, Richie Adebayo took over, a little more post-up action. When Adebayo was named the head coach, stuck him down in the hole on a full-time basis. He says score from down low, and then Dunleavy has taken over now, and it gives him 5 people to post up on offense.
The crowd reacting to the play of Cliff Levingston. Horace Grant checking back in. The Lakers and the Bulls tied at 47. Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. Game 2 here Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. Game 3 in LA next Friday night, starting at 9 Eastern Time. Cartwright to the fadeaway. Devonts on the rebound. It has been a media onslaught here in Chicago. Credentials issued to 550 journalists representing 12 countries, including Italy, Greece, Spain, France, and Japan. 3-point attempt by Perkins. He hit 2 earlier. And this championship series is being seen in 70 countries. Armstrong wide open. A minute 20 left in the first half. Game tied at 47. Magic had it broken up. Last touch by the Lakers. Now Magic Johnson appealing to the outside official Hugh Hollins. Jack Madden made the call, and the call standing. Here's Pippen. Scottie Pippen going glass. He has 9. Bulls lead 49-47. Coming up at halftime, the final shootout, with Bob and Pat going at each other on the Prudential halftime report. That is coming up momentarily. Shot clock at 5. Worthy from downtown. And the foul is called. Scott grabbed by Armstrong.
Mike Dunleavy reminding James Worthy, if there's enough time on that 24-second clock, use the dribble penetration to get in the seam and force another rotation by the Bulls defense. That time, James, because the shot clock had almost gone off, had to launch the long jumper.
Mike Dunleavy, 36 years old, a product of the schoolyards of Brooklyn. Excellent playmaking, scoring guard at South Carolina. He took over under pressure conditions from Pat Riley. Mike Dunleavy was in a no-win situation, but he still won. 6th-round draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers. Eventually landed with Houston. 4-year stay there. Also played at San Antonio and Milwaukee. And an assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
After what Pat Riley had accomplished with the Lakers program, there are many coaches that would not want to step into those shoes or sit in that head coach position. Dunleavy looked at it a little bit differently. He said, hey, I think this team has a chance to win a championship. I'd like to be part of all that. Let me take a shot at it.
Game tied at 49. Here's Armstrong. Yes. E.J. Armstrong with his 2nd field goal. And the indication, a 2-pointer. The Bulls were looking for a 3. That's the reason for the stoppage. 30 seconds left in the half. Teagle is checked back in, racing with Hodges. Teagle and Johnson. And Scott on the floor in a 3-guard alignment, along with Worthy and Perkins. And the foul is called.
That time, Magic did not give Jordan a chance to body up on him, did not give him a chance to double. As soon as he caught the basketball, he turned and went. Keep an eye at Scott and Jordan down low. The battle taking place, the bodies, the arms. It's a battle out here.
Jordan called for his 2nd. Magic Johnson has been very quiet offensively. He's 4 for 4 from the line. He has attempted only 1 field goal attempt. But as we have seen throughout the season, 22nd timeout called by the Bulls. It has not been important that Magic come up with big numbers. In fact, when he scores in prolific fashion, the Lakers usually have either lost or not played well. The assist category has been the significant one when it comes to Magic Johnson and W's for the Lakers.
Magic Johnson on the glass helps the Lakers. Magic Johnson directing the show out there, understanding that he had to take a little bit more of the scoring burden upon himself when Kareem retired, but he doesn't want to overdo it to the point where the spotlight's on him for scoring. He'd rather share that part of it with his teammates, just make him win in the end.
Magic in his 12th season out of Michigan State. Earlier this year, missed a couple of games with a jammed middle finger on his right hand. He was telling us how happy he is to be healthy after the long grind of the regular season and on to the final round of the playoffs. Lakers and Bulls tied at 51. We are down to 10 seconds to go in the half. Pippen try to hand off to Grant. There's Grant. Now Pippen, and he threw the foul with 2 7/10 seconds left in the first half. Foul called on Perkins. That is his first.
The initial defense by the Lakers was outstanding. They took away the drive off the dribble by Pippen. They cut off on the dump down pass for the layup by rotating from the weak side. It was just the extra hustle by the Bulls coming up with the second, third shot opportunities.
Scottie Pippen is 1 for 3 from the line. The Bulls only 5 out of 9 from the free throw line. Lakers at 17 of 18. Pippen only a 71% free throw shooter. Bulls take a 1-point lead, and a timeout taken by Mike Dunleavy. So when we come back, Pippen will go to the line to shoot a second. 2 7/10 seconds remaining in the half. Wednesday night, Magic and Michael resume as they move their dream matchup to prime time for Game 2 of the NBA Championship Series. The Lakers and the Bulls, Wednesday night, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right here.
This will force you to stay up a little bit later than normal, 9 p.m. starting time?
Yes. Take a nap during the day. I'll be fine. I think we need referee Arthur Mercanti to check this one out. Let's see, salary about the same. We're not talking about all the extracurricular activities. MVP awards, Magic with 3, Michael with 2, but the big number that Michael would like to put a dent into under the category of championships.
In fairness, the supporting cast has been a little bit different with the Lakers over the years than it has been here in Chicago. The Lakers have been there, have built it, and maintained it. The Bulls on their way to getting there.
And this is a strong first half for the Lakers on the home court of the Chicago Bulls. Here's Pippen from center court. Lakers shot only 44%, but they're down by only 2, while the Bulls 61% shooting in the first half. Jordan leading the way with 18 points along with the 5 rebounds and 8 assists. Halftime in Chicago, Game 1 of the best of 7. The Bulls by 2. Bob and Pat coming up in just a moment.
And welcome back to Chicago Stadium, the second oldest arena in the NBA, built in 1929. Only Boston Garden has been around longer. What it gives away to the Forum in glamour, it makes up in atmosphere. These fans came in psyched to see Michael versus Magic, the Bulls versus the Lakers, and so it's obligatory that we check the totals. Michael, 18 points, most of them in the first quarter, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. He's had a hand in 34 of the 53 Chicago points. Magic, just 5 points, 6 assists,
3 boards. An early question, Worthy versus Pippen. Pippen didn't get off in the first quarter, but did come on in the second. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 9. Worthy, what a revelation for Mike Dunleavy. 14 points, couple of rebounds, 7 for 14. He looks okay.
Well, obviously, Bob, there was a lot of concern coming into this game about James's ankle. 7 out of 14, 14 points. He's putting the ball up a lot. But one thing we noticed in the first half, I don't think he's 100%. I do believe he's going to be able to play throughout the game. And I think at the end of the game when there's fatigue is when you're going to see it the most. Right here with Horace Grant, watch the pivoting. I think right there you can see whether or not the guy is ailing, but he makes the shot over the top. This has been a game that a lot of people talked about, the Pippen-Worthy matchup. Really, it's a lot of different players playing Worthy. Worthy right now on Michael Jordan, or Michael Jordan guarding him. A quick spin move baseline. Again, the shot drops, and Worthy has shown with the 14 points that he could have a real big game.
Fast break points, as you might expect. Chicago's 16, the Lakers only 4. The Lakers want the half-court game to run only when the opportunity is there. The Bulls want to play racehorse if they can.
Well, the interesting thing about that, Bob, is that the Bulls looked very good for 2 or 3 minutes. I thought the bench coming in with Purdue, Livingston, Hodges, and Armstrong created a lot of pressure. The fast break differential is not that important right now because the Lakers come right back and they control the tempo, and they're not allowing the Bulls to get off on like 12-2 runs.
All right, it's 53-51, Chicago at the half. When we come back, we'll turn our attentions to a different competition. The level in the shootout between Riley and myself is much lower, but it's every bit as close. Tied at the end of the semifinals of the playoffs. We go to a sudden death shootout. It'll be decided, and you'll see it right after this. Changed Magic Johnson a point. He has 6, not 5, but all of them on free throws, no field goals. Speaking of free throws, let's take a quick look back at how Pat and I arrived at the finals deadlocked in the shootout. Here it is. We get 1 shot per show for the entire year, each of us, then we'll see who's ahead at year's end. Ready? Watch. Riley, no! No!
Come on, let's go. We don't have time.
Like, I can't shoot my high arcer. The studio lights are in the way. Oh, what the lights! But you gotta shoot it flat. Then on Christmas Day, it was Riley connecting here in Chicago.
Here it is, Riley. Yes! Unbelievable.
You gotta hit air.
Pat has done it again.
Meanwhile, Dan Deerdorf and I worked my driveway in snowy St. Louis.
Good follow through, Bob, now. You know, don't exhale.
Yes!
A hit.
Back in the studio, I built a 2-shot lead, but Riley cut it to 1 and put the pressure on me Tuesday night. This was to assure me of no worse than a tie, but it rattled in and out. So that brings us to this point, a reminder of what's at stake. At Pat's suggestion, the loser would have to wear his hair in the fashion of the winner. As we showed you on Thursday night, this is what it might look like. It looks like the results of a bizarre genetic experiment gone horribly wrong. Now, earlier today, with several witnesses, we had the sudden death shootout on the floor right here at Chicago Stadium. We would shoot until a winner was decided. I won the coin flip, and deciding to try and put the pressure on this man.
Making it sound too good now.
I elected to go first.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Yes, good job.
The traditional handshake. Riley trying to psych me. I had been hot in warm-ups, hitting 9 of 10. And there it is when it counts. The pressure on Riles.
That's why I took the Knick coaching job, Bob. I had to go back and coach myself how to shoot. Thank God I'm out of this place. Boy, I'll never live this one down.
Come Wednesday night.
There it is, right there, Chris. I told you it was going to end up this way.
Time to blow dry on Wednesday night. A nation waits breathlessly.
I can't wait. A new look, a new life, a new city, a new team. Blow it dry for the Knicks.
New chapter in the life of Riley. Back to Fratello and Albert. Right after this, the Bulls by a deuce at the half. Game 1 of the NBA Finals.